So first question, what previous leadership roles have you been involved in that will help you in this position? And what transferable skills from those roles or experiences will help you in this position?
Well, I believe any leadership roles that I took would help me in this position because it's in the community. So anything I've done in the community would help me with dealing with different types of people. I'm actually in leadership positions right now. One is spiritual life at Pioneer Congregational, where I just have to bring people together of the church and just have them enjoy each other's company. Another one is section leader in a celebration choir, and I just have to teach people their part. I was historian at my high school, where I had to gather pictures of everyone and get people more involved in the community, get them to come in and see us perform, and get more people involved in the vocal department. And I'm also an instrumental in developing an a cappella group in Rockland at the Professional Voice. So I think that all of those are pretty valuable because I'm dealing with different types of people and learning about different types of people in the community.
Ready? All right. I think the biggest current leadership position that I can bring forward is my position as a resident advisor with Housing Residential Life on campus. I just am concluding my first year as an RA, and through this position I work with residents on a daily basis, and I facilitate programs, which is I pretty much plan events every month. I plan 2 to 3 events a month. I do a lot of teamwork and team building different things, and so I think that's really goes into the community outreach position because it is a lot of networking and planning events, and I have a lot of experience doing that through being an RA, and I have a lot of already kind of have started networking by doing different community service events as an RA, so I feel like I already have some of those connections to help plan some really great events for the honors program. And I also served this year on the staff selection committee for Housing Residential Life, which is another leadership position where I networked and facilitated different events and planned events for the hiring process for RAs this year. So I've done a lot of work planning different events, and I think that can all carry over to community outreach.
Well, my senior year I served on the California Youth Council, which gave me a lot of experience in working in both small and large groups, just trying to collaborate towards something that was either a small goal or a big goal, just learning how to work in groups. I was president of a club called Friday Night Live at my high school for 2 years, which was anti-drug, tobacco, general bad choices, just combating all of those things, which also gave me a chance to talk to the community. I participated in a press conference. I was in student government for 3 years in high school, and one of those years was as community service coordinator. So I did things like I worked with Blood Source to coordinate blood drives. I did lots of food drives, coat drives, park cleanups, just various community-oriented events. And we also my high school held a Make-A-Wish rally, and we were able to donate food and clothes and a puppy and a used car to people who needed or wanted those things in the case of the puppy. But things like the car we got all of those things donated from the community, so we actually had to go out and talk to people and find connections and just get the community involved to help people within our school that needed it. I've been on the leadership team for my church for quite a while. So that's just hosting events, putting things together, coordinating with different people. And I've also served on Sahara's subcommittee for community outreach this semester. And that's really given me a chance to see an inside look of the job and see what it entails, what I would need to do, what I would need to learn, the steps I would need to take to improve, and start to see the connections that she has and establish those for myself.
What events that we have not yet done would you like to see us be a part of?
Okay.
Same order.
I have a wide variety of community service opportunities that I think that we could get more involved in. I don't think we've done anything with the elderly this year, but the chateau behind Pioneer Congregational, I have direct connections with Ed Johnson, and they really need someone to just go in and spend time with them. Or the LGBT community, going on Pride Media with iHeartRadio, walking in a march parade or something to show solidarity. I'm currently working at Head Start, and there's a lot of kids that just need like a little carnival or something, face painting, anything like that, opportunities they don't get at home. At the Lambda Center, that's where a lot of kids get sent away from their families because of their sexual orientation. So they don't have money for even things like food. The homeless, at Pioneer Congregational, we have a thing called Safe Ground, and the homeless stay overnight, and they need people to go and spend the night with them. And papers are signed so that it's safe, there's no drugs or alcohol. Other people would be there. With the Sunburst Foundation, that's with families that have AIDS. And this year, I was involved with getting Christmas gifts for kids, and they would even ask for things like gift cards to buy food, and they would ask for gift cards like for Subway so that you knew that they were spending it on food. Just so there's a lot to go with the hunger. Teen Success with Lauren Stryker, that's teens that have kids and they're trying to get their diploma, and they have parties for them once a year, and they need people to run the garage and watch their children while they're at the party and trying to get a higher education. So those are a few things.
So some of the things that Ashley mentioned, I had similar ideas. The first thing that I would like to do, though, is actually see what other people in honors would like to do. I want to know what ideas they have for community service, because I know I think Alex talked about it. I can't think of everything, so I think it'd be really cool to see what other people want. But some of the ideas that I did come up with, I'd like to see more volunteer work at food banks and maybe canned food drives, and maybe even actually hold our own here in the lounge where people could drop off different canned foods and just raise all that stuff for different food banks in town. I'd like to see us do more work with children and the elderly at care homes and hospitals. And I'd like to start networking with more groups on campus. A lot of people, I think, are afraid of the honors program, and I think it would be really cool to to get involved with some other, the Pride Center, the Women's Center, and just kind of network with them more. I do a lot of networking with them now as an RA. They come and do guest speaking and stuff for us a lot, so I'd really like to see us work with them more. Some volunteer work with animal shelters, that would be a lot of fun. I don't know if we've ever done anything with Safe Rides before, but I think it would be really cool to do a Safe Rides group as honors. I'd like to see more, reach out more with high school. I know we do the breakthrough with middle school students. I know we're kind of doing something similar with high school students currently, but I'd like to see us reach out more to high schools to get more, to help at-risk teenagers more and network more. And then I was researching, and they have a lot of really cool opportunities that we could do through the Sacramento Zoo. They do their own, it's called the Zoo Zoom, and they do Halloween. It's called Boo at the Zoo. I think that would be a lot of fun because I'm going to get to work with different community members and do a lot more of that. And then the really big thing that I would really like to do is there's this thing. It's called Be the Match. I facilitated an event last semester in the res halls with a Be the Match volunteer, and she this year they're doing a Be the Match 5K. And Be the Match is a system where you swab your cheek and you find out if you're a match for somebody with blood cancer, and then you donate bone marrow to them. So I've already worked with, her name's Liz, and I worked with her for the original. So I'd really like to see us volunteer for the 5K run that they're going to have in November. It's the first one Sacramento's going to have. So that's a really, really big event that I'd really like to see the honors program participate in this next semester. So.
Okay. Well, kind of as an overall goal, I'd like to give community outreach not such a like I have to do this and I hate it outlook. I want people to look at it as something that's worthwhile and not just something that they are like guilt tripped into. So that would be like a practical way to do that would be working with PR to make events not so I don't know, just give it a different view for students. And I'd also like to make accessible information, kind of like what you're saying with suggestions and something in here like a wall of information, because I didn't really know much about the community outreach events that we had going already as a freshman before I joined the subcommittee. So I think getting information out there would be good, and also taking suggestions to make people more invested in the events that we do, because if it's their idea, they're going to be more invested in it. Like you said, I'd like to volunteer with Safe Rides. I think that's something that we could easily reach our school community with that we don't really take advantage of. And then a new thing that I would love to implement would be putting together packages of food and toiletries and handing them out to the homeless in the area, because there is a ton of homeless people, and that would be an easy way for Honors to have a presence outside of Sac State and just connect with people on the streets, and that would be really great.
So in your opinion, why do you think that community service outreach has been the most difficult program to get, student engagement in, and what are your plans to change that, to like get the word out and stuff better, or change the culture of community service in the honors program?
Well, I think it is, like you said, really hard to get people to do community service when they're not really aware of what's going on. I mean, I know that we had sign-up papers on the back table recently, and I was trying to get my friend to sign up for more events today, and I could not find them. So I didn't see them anywhere in the lounge. So I think it's really important to have the papers out in the lounge where they're able to be seen. Maybe we should have a separate bulletin board, something, so that it's easily accessible. I think maybe it's important to even have a Facebook page and just say, hey, this is what's going on. I didn't see many posts on the Facebook page recently about any of the events coming up, except for Run or Die, which I know is coming up really soon. But I mean, it'd be cool if it was just like an invitation sent out. I just got an invitation for Run or Die, I think last week, and it's coming up this weekend. What if someone had plans? So I think it's important to invite people in advance. And I think it's also important to let people know what we give is what we're going to receive. So if we want to be known in our community and want people to reach out to us in our community, it's important for us to reach out. And I think, as everyone's been saying, our peers should be able to say what we're doing, what they want to do, what are their interests. So maybe like a questionnaire should be sent out. What are your interests in our community? What do you think you could do to help the community? What are your talents, abilities? That sort of thing. And then we can shape our events around what they are able to give.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the biggest idea is people, these events are coming out, but it's not something that they necessarily want to do. So if we give them the opportunity to say, this is what I want to do, then I think that we would have a much higher participation, because people would enjoy it. And kind of like, the Run or Die 5K, there's a ton of people signed up for that because it's a fun event, and it's, it's not, we're not going and cleaning up a park, you get to throw die at people, and that's, that's a really fun event. So I think if we can get more excitement about the events that we are doing, that people will be more willing and wanting to participate. And I think the bigger, people kind of like to do what their friends do, so if we get, one friend to do it, then we can get the whole group to do it, and just really push for the team building and the bonding of that these different events can give them by going. And I went and cleaned up McKinley Park with all the RAs at the beginning of the semester, and it was a really fun bonding time for us, and we got to talk and get to know each other better. And I think if we push that idea of networking, getting to know people better, we can really get more people involved and wanting to participate rather than kind of feeling like they're forced to, because it's community service and it's something everyone's expected to do.
Okay, well, I think the first step, like you guys noted, was just getting information out. I think the biggest problem is that not a lot of people know about it, and I'd like to have like a designated area for community outreach events. If elected, I'd like to make myself more accessible so people can feel like they can either like email or text or just talk to me about suggestions, what they're thinking about events. I'd like to be very open to that. And I think word of mouth is also a big method of communication that we overlook a lot with things like that, because if we just talk to people, people will show up and go to things. Like with Honors Ball, not none, but very few people in the freshman cohort, my cohort, wanted to go until we all started talking about it and encouraging each other to go. So I think getting more people involved, that would be a very easy first step. And I think, like you mentioned, Josh, it's all about the culture. We view community service as something that we have to do, and I think if we shifted that to things that we don't view as a task, like you were saying, the Run or Die got so many more sign-ups. We could just do events that people don't view as a task.
All right, so I'll ask the same question I asked the previous group. Goals during the summer. So if elected, you will take office starting the first day after spring semester ends, and we'll be meeting throughout the summer. What are some goals you'd like to have completed by the end of summer?
Okay, well, going back to my last answer, I'd like to have the bulletin board or whatever I want in the Honors Lounge to be done so that when the next year comes, it's ready to go, ready for people to sign up. I think that it's important to have whatever I'm wanting to notify people, like the Facebook page. I also think it'd be cool to do an event over summer, even if it's just a couple people, like the Teen Success Program, where they need people to just be there to run a garage or something. If just a couple people go, which I would go, other people would go, start getting the community known that the Honors Program is ready to help. It's important. So I think that it's just good to have everything ready for the next year through the summer and maybe have an event.
I would really like to get started with all the networking and maybe get the first couple events really like set up, and like first day of school you can start signing up for this event, start networking those events, have it ready for convocation so I can, if I am elected, I can go to convocation and say, this is everything we're doing this semester. The reps will update you and give you more information. So I'd really like to have that all set up in the summer. I will still be working with housing over the summer, so I will still have those little networking positions within that. So I'd like to network with people on campus and start getting that, the campus affiliation happening more, so we can have people we can connect more with other groups on campus, and I'd like to really be ready to go when the semester starts and not be scrambling to try and get things together, where the week before people are getting invites for an event when they should have known a month ago so that they can plan for it. So I just want to have everything ready to go, if not for the whole year, at least for the semester.
Okay. Sahar made a list of all of the things that she does throughout the year, and I'd like to take that list as well as the things that I would add and plan out detailed descriptions of what I need to do each month for each of those events so that I don't get stressed and drown during the school year with all of the small details, because I know even the couple events that I've already done with Sahar, the details just come down on you during the last couple stages of planning. So if I could have printed out, concrete, done, detailed plans for each event, and timelines for all of those as well. And like you were saying, I'd like to contact all of those people during the summer so that they know exactly when and exactly what I will want from them or for them throughout the year, so that I've already made those connections and they know who I am when I bug them during the school year.
Just yes or no for me. Would you keep the separated semesters, where the fall is more social and the spring is more community service? Like, would you keep that structure, or would you start to like blend them again like it used to?
I would blend them again because in my first semester at Sac State, I don't think we were very involved in our community, and I think it's important that the community is aware, hey, the honors program at Sac State is really involved. We can really ask them and go to them if we need help. I even think that right now with some of the events we're doing, we are volunteering, but we're not volunteering as the honors department. We're just going and helping and going with a few friends, and I think it's important to get our name out there as soon as possible and just let people know that we're ready to help.
Yeah, same. I'd like to blend it again so that it's not kind of like, well, we're here now, but we're not going to be in the fall, so don't
Just final comments from each of you. Yeah.
Okay. I'd really like to share my abilities with the community as well as my fellow peers, and just going back to the comment that we get what we give, I'd really like to give a lot and receive a lot. Vote for me.
Yeah, I'm really, I really want to get more involved with honors and get more excitement behind the community outreach program. And I'm used to planning events. I'm excited about planning events, and I just feel like I could do really well in this position. So vote for me.
Well, this job combines something that I care a lot about with a leadership position that I've been in for a long time and I'm very comfortable in. I believe that I have the experience and great ideas that I would love to implement. So, yeah, please vote for me. Don't giggle. It doesn't help.
Thank you guys so much. Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.